over, I think, pretty much my whole life, I've always struggled to find that self-discipline, especially in a craft like this that is painting or a creative field. It can be extremely hard sometimes to kind of find that good balance between, work and how to stay creative and do a good job at it. So I feel like I have found a pretty good balance on just how to manage every little aspect of what it comes with being a painter, or once again, someone in the creative field. Now, take this with a grain of salt, because this is just me. I am little Jimena. This is what I've been doing and what I do and what works for me. I know that there's so many artists out there that have a completely different, way of doing things, and I think that's pretty great and that's cool. And it's something that I feel like I can actually maintain. So every single morning, I take my little moleskine, my journal, and I write down everything that I need to do that day. And especially the things that are extremely important, I make sure that I get those done, because some things are a must and some others can wait just a little bit longer. And now this can be finishing a painting, this can be sending an email, this can be packing something, whatever it is that you need to do. It helps my mind tremendously, because you're probably also a very visual person and you need to see things and you need to write things down and to see them, because otherwise sometimes our mind just puts it somewhere where you just forget where it is. So this is just a good way, and it's very easy. And I think once you start to get in the little routine, everything just becomes easier. Another thing that I actually get asked a lot is how to get out of artist block, or when you're just burnt out, or when you feel like you cannot get past through a certain point. An artist block is just purely your mind being stuck in like a tunnel vision moment where you just don't see past through it. And I found the best way is literally going through it. And what this means is just allow yourself to make a bad painting and allow yourself to screw up, allow yourself to just make a crappy painting, honestly. Actually, I encourage you to. You must. Because without the crappy painting, you don't know what works and what doesn't. And it's such an informative and extremely helpful way to understand what you like, what you don't like, and what works and what doesn't. So these are also part of the process. Like, you have to remind yourself that everyone starts from zero, everyone starts from the same knowledge and with the same abilities. Sure, some people are more talented, but honestly, talent only gets you so far. Purely, it's hard work. Anybody can paint. What makes a difference is the interest and the passion that you have for it. You have to really, really love it to put all this effort and all the time into getting better at the craft. After you make the terrible painting, you can, go through books, go to a museum, go grab a coffee with a friend, or go painting with a friend, or just chat with whoever. Something that makes you feel good. Maybe you browse on Facebook Marketplace trying to find the perfect file cabinet, or make another iced coffee or a nice matcha. All of this sounds wonderful and delicious. So, yes. This actually brings me to my third point, which is the balance that I mentioned in the beginning. Whenever, after maybe like 4 hours of painting, I'm like, okay, I cannot continue, so I stop and I work on something else. I either work on my website, or I pack some prints or some paintings that need to be shipped, or I am going through inventory, or I'm ordering something that I need, because you're always out of something. It doesn't matter how many times you buy it, it always runs out. You need envelopes, you need yellow ochre, you need mineral spirit, you need more envelopes, or you're out of business cards. Yes, it's like a constant just fluidity of work and checking everything, or you have to answer some emails, whatever it is. But I do like to stop from painting and to working on these other things. It kind of like refreshes my mind, and I come back with new eyes, with more strength. And the same thing happens with commission paintings versus whatever I want to paint. Help, not just help me, like they're just my job. Like they help me pay my bills, they help me pay my rent, so I need them. But inside that need, I love making them because I don't have to think, what's the story behind this? Why do I want to make this painting? So it's also a good way to disconnect from your personal work. But I think both are important, at least in the moment that I am now. Perhaps in some years I don't take commissions. Perhaps I stop doing personal work. I don't know, never say never. But what I like about this now is that I can switch my mind between, once again, what I choose to paint, something that I feel very connected to. This can be, I don't know, fairies, Arwen, a beautiful lady in the forest, or laying on the grass, or reading a book, or maybe a cute coffee cup, whatever it is that I feel genuinely connected to and passionate for, versus a commission that perhaps is personal to the person that is commissioning it, of course. I've been trying to listen to more podcasts with artists, and I have two that probably everybody knows. One is the Jeff Hine podcast, and the other one is the Andrew Tisler one. Both are great because they have wonderful guests, and each artist, I love how everyone has like a different story, a different approach, and this kind of shows you that in this whole social media era, internet era, I do feel like there is always someone that will love your work if you love what you paint. And what I mean by this is that you can paint cars, you can paint maybe just coffee cups, maybe you can paint pet portraits or landscapes, or something very specifically in niche, and there will always be someone that loves your work. And I think this is great. I think this is the beauty of social media, despite all of the bad things that it carries and the, terrible comparison, horrible, not being enough kind of feelings. It's also great. I think with time I have become more grateful of having these kind of platforms like YouTube or Instagram, and I know that they don't work as good as they should. I know that now the engagement is not great, or they don't push your post unless you promote it, or it's always reels and it's always like 1 second reels and things like this. However, I do think that it's a free platform, and I know that if I didn't have these things, maybe I didn't have a career. This is the path that I built myself through social media. So in a way, I'm extremely grateful for it, even though, once again, sure, there's things that they need to be improved, but nonetheless. So yeah, sorry, so I kind of went on a tangent. So listening to some of these artists, they just all share like the different experiences, and some of them maybe perhaps they used to do prints and then they stopped, and now they only do original paintings, and that's all they do. Some of them, they go to they go to conventions and they sell the prints as the originals. So what I'm saying is that you can find the way that it works for you, and there is no rules, really. There's no rules. You don't have to be on galleries if you don't want. You don't have to be recognized by huge organizations. Of course, all these are wonderful things, and trust me, the artist ego will always want some recognition, because I feel like that's just how we are, we like it or not. But I love the idea that you can just make whichever path that works for you, and I feel like this is something that I have found, and I really enjoy and I really love. Lastly, I think it's really important to be connected with the community, with friends, or with people that also share a similar passion. And I'm so, so thankful because when you surround yourself with the wrong people, they kind of like give you wings, but then they cut it off the moment that you start quote unquote flying away. That's not the people that you want in your life. You know, you want people that will cheer you up when you succeed. And so finding a good community, finding genuine people that are like in the same path as you, I think that's beautiful. And being on Zoom with them, you don't have to be present. If you can, sure, that would be great if you can paint with them together. I mean, that's like the top of the top. When I did my workshop this summer in Italy, it was absolutely freaking fantastic, and we all of us connected so like beautifully. And I really think it's because we were all like after the same kind of goal. We just really like painting, we love drawing and being creative, and we connected through that, but also we just became really good friends, and I love that. So maintaining those friendships, I think, are important. And once again, whenever you can paint outside, I think it's wonderful. I think it's just absolutely bloody fantastic. Thank you so much for being here, for listening to me ramble, and for your support. It means truly the world to me. See you guys very soon, and happy painting. Mwah.